Malaysia, Adityo Restu Putra and Andriyan. Team Singapore, represented by Jonathan Keng and Joshua James Chong. Team Thailand, represented by Theerapat, Siriboon and Yotsawat, Juntaphadawon. And represented from Malaysia, Hanis, Nazirul bin Jaya, Surya and Jellson, Jabillin.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. The next event will be the 10-meter platform Synchro men. Introducing the referee, Ms. Jillian Brooker. Introducing the execution judges, Judge number 1, Damien Love. Judge number 2, Min Suk Hong. Judge number 3, Queenie Yu. And Judge number 4, Lindsay Stone. Introducing the Synchro judges, Judge number 1, Wu Ying Khan. Judge number 2, Tony Ko. Judge number 3, Pranata. Judge number 4, Yuki Kaneto. Judge number 5, Mayo Vyas. Introducing the technical delegate, Mr. Eric Brooker.
Meeting the judges now for this final event in Kuala Lumpur in the diving competition. It is the 13th and final event, the men's 10-meter platform synchro. 2 years ago, Hoi Zeliang and Chu Yue were victorious for Malaysia. Indonesia with Andriyan and Restu Putra were silver medalists, and Siriboon and Yotsawat of Thailand won the bronze medal. Well, 2 of those combinations return, but the Malaysians have selected a very young combination to try and complete this extraordinary performance of winning every gold medal. The divers will go in the order of Indonesia, Singapore, Thailand and Malaysia. Singapore represented by Jonathan Chan and Joshua Chong. And the Malaysian combination, Hanis Nazirul and Jellson Jabillin. Jellson we've already seen in the 10-meter mixed synchro. But it's certainly not a combination which boasts the experience that they could have put into this team. So Malaysia with a young combination.
Adityo,
Chance for them to develop before moving on to better things.
201B, 2.0.
So Indonesia with Adityo, Restu Putra and Andriyan. Each combination will complete 6 dives. First 2 dives are all the same, the back dive and then the reverse dive. So that's the straightforward dive. It's the back dive, which has a degree of difficulty of 2. So they'll all complete this one first up, and then they'll do the reverse dive for their second. And then they tend to change around a wee bit in the order of what they'll do.
Scores for synchronization. 8.5, 8, 8.5, 8, 8.5.
Good synchronization scores there, and they should be 2 for this back dive.
Jonathan Chan, Joshua Chong from
Now Singapore.
201B, 2.0.
Again, a couple of younger competitors. Chan we've seen quite a bit of here. He's 18 years of age. He's standing to the left. That's nice too. So the first 2 competitors looking quite comfortable with that initial dive.
Scores for execution, 7.5, 7. 8.5, 8.5. Scores for synchronization, 8, 8.5, 7.5, 7.5, 8.5.
And an identical score too, 48.
Theerapat, Yotsawat.
Commented before about how Jonathan Chan seems to be full of smiles. He's certainly outwardly a very calm character who enjoys what he's doing. Theerapat and Yotsawat, bronze medalists 2 years ago. So they're all completing this satisfactorily without a doubt. We've had 2 48s.
7, 8.5, 7.5.
This might be pretty much the same score.
7.5, 8, 7.5, 8, 8.
Oh no, 45.6. Now, an opportunity for us to see this young Malaysian combination, both of them 16 years of age. We saw Jellson Jabillin win a gold with the Absolutely outstanding, Leong Mun Yi, yesterday in the mixed synchro. Well, the execution will be all right, without doubt.
Scores for execution, 8.5. Scores for synchronization, 7.5, 8.
So 48 for them as well. So we've got 3 48s after this first round of dives in the men's 10-meter synchro. 3 there, you see, 48 to Indonesia, Singapore and Malaysia, at a 45.6 to Thailand.
Round 2. Adityo, Andriyan, 301B, 2.0.
So reverse dive for both for Indonesia, Thailand and Malaysia. Notice Singapore for their second dive will do the forward 1.5 somersault. So reverse dive here for Adityo, Restu, Putra and Andriyan. Quite an experienced combination. They were the silver medalists 2 years ago. Restu Putra this year has won a bronze medal in the 3-meter synchro. Indonesia has won 4 bronze medals here. And Andriyan also a bronze medal. That was in the 10-meter mixed synchro. Andriyan with Della Dinasari. 94.8.
Jonathan Chan, Joshua Chong, 103B, 2.0.
We've got some young divers here. Joshua Chong, he's a member of this emerging squad of divers from Singapore. He's only turned 16 a couple of weeks ago. And Chan is 18. You could tell that they get on well together. You could see beforehand, before the competition started, they were just having quite a lot of fun. They both tend to be nice and relaxed. And with Chan, I don't think there'd be any chance of being anything other than nice and relaxed, with a bit of laughter as well.
Scores for synchronization, 8, 7.5, 8.
Well, that's good. Some 8s there for synchronization. That will have the whistling coach happy.
Theerapat, Yotsawat,
Exactly the same score as the Indonesians. This is a tight contest, but we're only into the second round of 6. The near diver got off the vertical when entering the water and strapping everywhere.
Scores for execution, 7, 6.5, 7. Scores for synchronization, 7.5.
Some of these dives look really good, don't they? And coach is happy. And what we've got, of course, is when you get up into the 9s and 9.5s, you can imagine how extraordinary those dives look.
Hanis, Nazirul, Jellson, Jabillin, 301B.
Standard set by the Chinese over recent times. Also, the Russians have come back into it. Great Britain team doing a lot of work on developing their divers. Canadians, Germans, of course. Nice. Gosh. If they had any worries about the ability of this young combination, two 16-year-olds, to continue this amazing success of Malaysia at the diving, well, they've just been wiped away now.
8-9. Scores for synchronization.
Execution wonderful, and that entry, well, that we haven't seen any better.
9.5.
9s and 9.5s for both. 101.4. That shoots them into the lead.
Your attention, please, ladies and gentlemen. Could you please refrain from making any noise after the referee has pressed her whistle? Your attention, please, ladies and gentlemen.
At the end of the first round of dives, we had 3 teams with 48 points. Now we see 2 level at 94.8, so that was Indonesia and Singapore. But Malaysia has put 7 points on them with that last dive, 101.4.
Round 3. Adityo, Restu, Andriyan, 107B,
Second equal, Indonesia and
3.0.
Singapore, 94.8 points they have.
Execution 6, 7, 7, 6. Scores for synchronization 7.5, 7, 7.5, 8, 8.
64.8.
Jonathan Chan, Joshua Chong, 107.
Oh, I know what they have to do to get into second place here. The Singapore pairing of Chan and Chong. They need to get a score slightly better than what Indonesia did. Well, they won't be far off it, but it might not be enough. That's close. Off the board together. Nice rotation together.
6, 7,
but
5.
just killing it with that big splash at the end.
7, 7.5, 7, 7.5, 7.5.
So they need 159.6 to move into second place or equal second place. No, 155.1, so they're in third place now.
Theerapat, Yotsawat, 407C, 3.2.
You can hear that the crowd that's here is in the main very knowledgeable, and they have been told to be quiet after the start signal is given, but they can sense when it's been a really good dive or not.
Scores for execution 4.5, 4, 5, 4.5. Scores for synchronization 6, 6, 5.5, 6.5, 6.5.
Right, they've set a great standard here.
Hanis,
These
Nazirul,
two 16-year-olds.
405B,
The gold medal was
2.8.
taken 2 years ago by Oi Ziwei and Chu Yue. Oi Jilang and Chu Yue. They won it convincingly from Indonesia and Thailand. Much more experience than this pair, both 16 years of age. Nice diving physiques, very lean. Oh, this time just going over the vertical, which will cost them in the execution points, but Not enough to drop them down the table at all.
Scores for execution, 7.5, 6.5, 8, 7.5. Scores for synchronization, 7.5, 7.5, 7.5, 8.5, 7.5.
We'll come to the halfway stage. That's the end of the third round of dives here in the final event at the National Aquatic Centre, the men's 10-metre platform synchro. Malaysia, just for a change, being in the lead. Indonesia 4 points ahead of Singapore in second place, and in fourth place with 142 points, it's the combination from Thailand. We're back at the top of the order again.
Adityo.
This is they're doing the on this one, the inward 3.5 somersault with tuck. Both bronze medalists here over the last few days. The Indonesian squad has won 4 bronze medals. They're third on the points table, or medal table. And they are the combination which won the silver 2 years ago behind Malaysia. Indonesia last won a gold medal at the SEA Games in 2011 when they won the 10-metre men's synchro.
6.5. Scores for
They'd won that the previous time too in 2009.
7, 7.5, 7.5, 7.5.
Those were in the days when Malaysia didn't win everything, but certainly at the last 2 SEA Games, they've had a 100% record, and not only winning the golds, but this time also 6 silver medals as well. This is the final event, the 13th on the program. Singapore in third place. That would have felt quite good to them, although Chong did seem to over-rotate the diver on the left. Let's see, as they hit the water here, who makes a big splash. Someone did. Yeah, Chong.
6, 8, 8.
Oh, goodness me, this
synchronization.
Big differences in the scoring here, 6s and 8s.
7.
There,
7.5.
224.22.
Theerapat, Yotsawat, 107B.
That means Singapore are just 3 points behind, so they did close by 1 point. That silver medal is still within Singapore's grasp, but at the moment it's in the hands of Indonesia. Thailand in fourth. Theerapat and Yotsawat.
Goals for execution, 5.5, 6, 7.5, 6. Scores for synchronization, 7, 6.5, 7, 7, 7.
They're happy though. They're enjoying their time here.
Hanis, Nazirul, Jellson,
With a big lead at the moment.
3.0.
Malaysia, their fourth dive coming up. Well, for an inexperienced combination, which must have been feeling the pressure. The media, of course, over here, the newspapers in particular, constantly bombarding their readers with the fact that Malaysia have won so many gold medals, and today there was comment that yes, and at the diving area they have a great chance of winning every gold medal, and the last of the gold medals is in the hands of two 16-year-olds with limited experience. They have competed around a few events, of course, but to go on with this sort of you must win and therefore will win everything, it's a big ask. 238.2. So 11 points and then 3 points. That's the difference. Still, the major battle looks likely to be between Indonesia and Singapore. Indonesia starting here with 227. This dive, the penultimate dive, is a backward 2.5 somersault and half twist.
Round 5. Adityo, Andriyan.
In the pike position.
525,
the judges will want to see
3.2.
a nice departure from the board. They want to see a tight pike when they eventually get into that position. And that water entry is so important for points. Adityo, Restu, Putra, Andriyan, quite an experienced synchronized team.
Scores for execution 6.5, 7, 8, 7.5. Scores for synchronization 7.5, 7, 8, 7.5, 7.5.
A good score of 71.04 for them. This means that Singapore
Chong
really need to get just more than that 75. They're on 224 at the moment. A score of 75 would put them into second place. A reverse 2.5 somersault with tuck this time. Oh, tense moment for them. Well, a lot of that looked very good, but again on the far side, it looked like Joshua Chong has over-rotated dramatically. Good through here.
Scores for execution.
And they'll drop on the execution points.
3.5.
Or threes.
Scores, sorry,
yeah.
3.5, 3.5, 7, 8. Scores for synchronization.
Well, it's a pity for the Singapore team, 270.42.
6.5, 5. Theerapat, Yotsawat.
And it's such a vicious sport, isn't it, when you're so much on display and in the hands of 7 people who view your dive, which is over in a matter of a couple of seconds.
Execution 2.5, 3, 7.5, 6.5.
Copping
scores for synchronization.
Low marks for execution, just like the Singapore combination did, but again, big variation. A 2.5 and a 7.5. That's unbelievable for judging from the execution judges. 2.5 through to a 7.5. So again, you can sense why they have this system of taking out the top 2 and bottom
Hanis,
2
Nazirul,
marks
Jellson,
before they
Jabillin,
begin their calculation.
407C, 3.2.
Hanis, Nazirul. Alongside him, a shorter Jellson, Jabillin. pretty good again. These coaches and Malaysian diving will be congratulating themselves that they have developed youngsters who are capable of standing up,
Scores for execution.
diving last in an event, and producing really good dives.
Scores for synchronization 7.5, 8, 7.5, 8, 8.
So 311.16. Unless something dramatic happens, and you can't imagine it. They'll be in with the gold. 298 for Indonesia, 270 and 246 for the fourth place team, Thailand. Indonesia holding the silver medal. Difficulty 3.3. This is the most difficult dive that anyone's doing here, and if they do it well, they'll cement that silver medal without doubt. They are at the moment 13 points behind Malaysia. Gosh, it's an anxious time, isn't it, for the coaches and for the divers. They're experienced, they can do this. Adityo, Restu, Putra and Andriyan. They do it well. Forward, 2.5 somersault and 2 twists. Here they go, launching together into the twists. Now the somersaults, and then opening out and getting reasonably good marks for execution.
6.5.
What are they getting for synchronization?
7.5.
When we see it slowed down, it certainly wasn't perfect, was it? A 65.34, 364.
Jonathan Chan, Joshua Chong, 5253B, 3.2.
Currently in third place. And their degree of difficulty 3.2. They finished with a much better dive. The previous two, the execution has let them down. So these two at 16 and 18 years old respectively,
6.5.
putting together a handy sequence of dives.
8. Scores for synchronization. 7, 7, 7.5.
7s and 7.5s there we see for synchronization. A score of 70.8, and that gives them 340.5.
Theerapat.
Still in second and third place behind Indonesia.
3B, 3.2.
And that's the final dive from Theerapat and Yotsawat. Bronze medalists in 2015, but likely to finish in fourth place here in Kuala Lumpur.
7, 6.5, 5.5, 5. Scores for synchronization. 7, 6.5, 6.5, 7, 6.5.
Now, no pressure. And they only have to score a 54 to win this.
Jellson, Jabillin.
And it's a backward 2.5 somersault, 1.5 twists, 3.2 the degree of difficulty to carry on this remarkable record in this particular event over the last 3 games, winning it in 2013, 15, and now this dive will seal it for 2017. Hanis, Nazirul bin Jaya and Jellson, Jabillin. No trouble to them. There's no meltdown on the last dive. They've looked totally calm, totally poised, and well in control.
Scores for
And it reflects amazingly well on the Malaysian diving system that they can continue to produce
synchronization.
very good divers. They have a world champion in their midst,
7.5, 7.5.
Chong winning the 10-meter platform at the World Championships in Hungary. And this team here, 384 points, 20 points clear of Indonesia and Singapore in third place. Malaysia wins the gold, and that means they have had a clean sweep of the competition here. All 13 events have been won by divers from Malaysia. It's 13 gold and 6 silver for Malaysia. Singapore 6 silver and 6 bronze, and Indonesia 1 silver and 4 bronze. Vietnam 2 bronze, Thailand 1 bronze medal. That's the medal haul from the games here, the SEA Games in 2017. And the National Aquatic Centre has thrilled the audiences who have responded well to some remarkably successful diving from Team Malaysia. They win the men's 10-meter platform synchro through Hanis, Nazirul and Jellson Jabillin. 3 golds in 3 successive years for Malaysia in this competition, and for the 3rd time in a row they have a 100% record in these events. Gold medals, all of them, to Malaysia in 2013 and 2015, and in this year's extended competition all 13 golds have gone to Malaysia. to the end of the diving program. The final day of SEA Games 2017 here in Kuala Lumpur at the National Aquatic Centre. We've had 13 events over the last 4 days, and the final event has just been held, and now we will see the last of the medal presentations from this fabulous aquatic centre in Kuala Lumpur.
Men 10-meter platform synchronized.
Everyone has a smile on their face here.
Please welcome to the podium the medalists. The medals will be presented by Yang Berhormat Datuk Sri Dr. Shahidat Kassim, Minister in the Prime Minister's Department and President of Amateur Swimming Union of Malaysia. Mascot and seedling will be presented by Mr. Gadot Dewa Broto, Secretary, Ministry Youth and Sport of Indonesia. Bronze medalist from Singapore, represented by Jonathan Chan Van Keng and Joshua James Chong.
Jonathan Chan to the right and Joshua Chong, a youngster at 16, receiving his bronze medal. They were in the hunt for the silver, but they couldn't quite close that gap. Couldn't produce their best quality when they wanted to. That'll come in the future. The men's 10-meter synchro platform competition, the bronze medalists from Singapore.
Silver medalist from Indonesia,
Filling the same position as they did 2 years ago. The Indonesians Adityo, Restu, Putra and Andriyan. A good haul for this couple of divers. Previously a bronze medal each, and now a silver, the only silver for Indonesia in the competition.
ladies and gentlemen, your gold medalist and SEA Games champion from Malaysia, represented by Hanis, Nazirul bin Jaya Surya and Jellson, Jabillin.
Here they go, two young men. One just turned 16 a couple of weeks ago, Jellson Jabillin and Hanis Nazirul bin Jaya. They take the gold. They've carried on the tradition set by Oi Zijiang and Chu Yue, who did not compete in this year. They competed in other events. The youngsters have come through, and it's they who prompt now the national anthem of Malaysia for the 13th and final time at the Aquatic Centre.
distance for a photo session with our medalists. With that, ladies and gentlemen, present.
So the diving competition has come to an end. The Aquatic Centre has closed after some magnificent performances in all parts of aquatic sport. The diving over the latter few days, and we've seen Malaysia continue their dominance, winning all of the 13 events, 13 golds and 6 silver medals. And we've seen, and it hasn't just been what we've seen, some extraordinary diving from the experienced Oi Si Zhang, Chu Yue, Chong Ju Hong, the world champion in the 10 metre. It was fantastic that she turned up, even though she has that injured back, and she competed and won in the 1 metre springboard. Pandalala, of course, such an outstanding performer, Commonwealth Games champion and Olympic medalist. Leong Mun Yi, at 17 gold medals she has won at SEA Games since she first competed in 1997. What an extraordinary feat. So the experienced divers have been here, but it's also the youngsters, and we're seeing some of them here today at age 16 and 18 years in both Malaysia and Singapore. And also we've seen youngsters from Thailand and Indonesia, the other main competitors here in the diving. We hope you've enjoyed it. The diving has ended with Malaysia, the dominant nation.